Hey 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Chat Sports, and today, the latest 49ers news and rumors, some weird stuff in terms of 49er rumor land, and so we're going to break all that down. I'm sure you've read the title of this video. So there's some weird stuff going on here, and we're going to go ahead and break down the latest 49ers news and rumors, starting with this Trey Lance talk. And you're saying, Thomas, who the heck is Trey Lance? Well, he's a quarterback. And so we're talking about the draft to start the video today, which is strange, but just bear with me. I'll explain why we're talking about the draft right now in November. To me, way too early, but so we know the 49ers, of course, are in kind of a tough spot at quarterback because Garoppolo's hurt right now, and Mullins isn't that great, and you got to kind of figure out what the future is. And so people are already suggesting the Niners should draft a quarterback in 2021. And when I say people, I mean ESPN, which is why we're talking about this, because if this was some, no-name hoo-ha writer, then we wouldn't even be batting an eye at this. But ESPN suggests it, and it's like, all right, well, let's see what ESPN is actually saying. So first off, it is a little early for draft talk, right? Like, can we just accept that? Too early. We know we do draft stuff in the offseason, but here we are. So who is Trey Lance, first off? So Trey Lance is the quarterback for North Dakota State. He's a dual threat guy who is unbelievable. I mean, look at his stats last year. 42 total touchdowns, 0 picks. Like, you have to do a double take to make sure that's correct. I mean, he's the next great quarterback to come out of North Dakota State since Carson Wentz, and Wentz has been a really good quarterback out of that same college. So why Lance, though? Why are we talking about Trey Lance? Well, Jeremy Fowler, a reporter at ESPN, had this to say on SportsCenter a couple days ago, quote, "Well, this is projecting a bit because the 49ers do like Jimmy G. There's a good chance he could be back next year, certainly. But if they feel that the injuries are just too much to handle and they need to move on, I've talked to many coaches and coordinators around the league who believe Kyle Shanahan, one of the most brilliant offensive minds in the game, should go all out on a young athletic quarterback instead of going the veteran route." And then he went on to mention, don't trade for Matt Ryan or Kirk Cousins because that's the veteran route. So first off, it's a little bizarre because I'm still a Jimmy G guy, and obviously Fowler mentioned that the 49ers do like Jimmy Garoppolo, but with him being out at least the next couple of weeks, this is where the speculation begins to go ahead and grow. So where do you go? If you want to get a young dual threat guy, you got to go to the NFL draft, and so here are your options. My top four: Trevor Lawrence, obviously, number one. 49ers will not be able to get Trevor Lawrence because no one's going to trade out of the first pick. Move on. Justin Fields, probably the number 2 pick, so Niners probably can't get him. And there is Trey Lance out of North Dakota State, and now Zach Wilson, who's played his way into the top 4 with good play out of BYU. So this whole idea of getting a dual threat quarterback comes via ESPN. And honestly, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm not against this. The question is how much is Trey Lance's draft stock going to go ahead and rise the next couple of months as North Dakota State, and he continues to ball out there and did ball out, obviously, in 2019. And it'll depend on where the 49ers are in terms of Garoppolo's health, in terms of their playoff chances. There are a lot of factors here. So it's very early, but I mean, I guess I wanted just to bring this up since I know I'd get DMs with sending me this about the article, and so I figured I'd just break it all down. So sure, Trey Lance sounds fun. It's just so early to get in on this. It's weird. It's just not draft time. So I'll still leave it up to you guys, though. Answer the pinned comment down below. What should the 49ers do at quarterback next year? Type D for draft, type F for free agent, type K for keep Jimmy Garoppolo, or I guess you could trade for somebody as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. All right, moving on. Speaking of Jimmy Garoppolo, we had, I think, some good news on, a couple days ago whenever Kyle Shanahan met with the media. It might have been yesterday. I forget when it was, but Shanahan gave an update on Jimmy G and said that all the doctors have indicated he does not need surgery on the ankle. Surgery would officially end his season, and it looks like Shanahan has said the doctors do not think that is going to be a requirement right now, and he thinks Garoppolo will be out 4 to 6 weeks. And so we bring this up to say the Niners did go out and sign a quarterback, a dual-threat quarterback named Josh Johnson. Now, you might not recognize Josh Johnson, but we'll talk more about him in a second. But I think there's a chance that maybe Josh Johnson could start in the next couple of weeks if the Garoppolo news continues to indicate 4 to 6 weeks, and if Nick Mullins continues to be the starter at quarterback and struggle. So here's your remaining schedule right now. Obviously, Saints next week, then the bye, then Rams, then Bills, and then, of course, you have Washington, the Cowboys, the Cardinals, the Seahawks. And so Shanahan was indicating that somewhere in December, which is week 14 to week 17, because 17 is January and 14 is December, is when Garoppolo could come back. So Washington, the Cardinals, Cowboys, somewhere around there, you could see Jimmy G back in action. First off, drop a like if you want Jimmy G back. I'm one of the guys that thinks that this team needs a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo to be successful. I think it's been proven the past couple of weeks. Drop a like if you guys go ahead and agree. But this whole Josh Johnson signing It's interesting because he is old. He's 34, and you technically should know who he is because he was Kaepernick's backup in 2014, but they've signed him to the practice squad, and they could technically elevate him if they were, to need another quarterback or wanted to just go ahead and throw a dual-threat quarterback in there and try out this whole dual-threat idea with Kyle Shanahan. Here's what Shanahan said on the Johnson signing, quote, "I definitely wanted someone and the situation around that, just had experience, someone who's going to be on the practice squad, not get a lot of reps, but if something happened like what happened yesterday, where you just randomly lose a bunch of guys that you kind of plan for. So he's basically saying, like, we had a big COVID scare, and so, we want to make sure we don't have that happen again, where we're heaven forbid, not have two of our starting quarterbacks. So it doesn't sound like Johnson would start anytime soon. Some bloggers and writers have been talking about it. It may be interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. But right now, I think they're going to ride with Nick Mullins, and that's what the proper move is. Subscribe, though, in case there is a quarterback change. Like if there ever was, and they elevate somebody or Beathard comes in, we'll have it all covered here. So make sure you guys are subbed on the 49ers report. It will still be Mullins, though, and Shanahan emphasized that in his press conference. Mullins is a starter, and so I guess we'll wait for Mullins to either play well or play poorly. A great chance on the road against, well, last night was a really good Saints team as they blew out the Bucs. So we'll see. Overall, though, the good news is that Jimmy Garoppolo could be back by the end of the season, get him 1 or 2 games to finish the year, and then hopefully go on a playoff run if they are that close in terms of wins and losses. Before we keep going, it is hoodie season right now at Chat Sports, and 49er hoodies are 25% off. I mean, these things are, 1, perfect for cold weather, and 2, look great, and 3, on sale. So go to chatsports.com/49ers hoodie. Link is down below in the description box. Just scroll down and click it and pick up an official hoodie of the 49ers, or any one of them. There's a bunch of them right now, and a lot of them are on sale. So stay warm, look great. Maybe get a gift for your friend or family member for Christmas, all on sale. Jump on that deal because that will not last much longer. Final little bit of news here as we go ahead and jump into some trade stuff. Not trade deadline stuff because the trade deadline is over. But Adam Kaplan, or was it Adam Kaplan? No, sorry, Jason Lockenfora has this whole piece about J.J. Watt wanting a trade, saying it's a, quote, virtual certainty that Watt will be traded in 2021. And so all the writers instantly shoved J.J. Watt's name next to the 49ers' name, saying this was a perfect fit, match made in heaven. Well, Watt wants to play with a contender. So the question is, does Watt consider the Niners a contender? And would the 49ers actually consider trading for J.J. Watt? Because I'm sure it would cost a lot to get him out of Houston. It's a little too early to consider this, just like the Trey Lance stuff. It's kind of weird that we're talking about this so early, but for the sake of, blank and giggles, as they say, well, let's entertain the idea of J.J. Watt being a trade target. He's been good this year. I mean, the numbers have definitely fallen off, probably more so due to the injury history. We'll show you that in a second, but he still is a great pass rusher, and I think alongside other great pass rushers like Nick Bosa, this could be a match made in heaven. The problem, again, is his injury history. I mean, he had the muscle tear in the abdomen in 2015, the really bad one, the herniated disc back there in 2016, the tibial fracture, and then the torn pec last year, which basically ended his season. So he hasn't really been healthy the past couple of years, and when he is healthy, he obviously is one of the better pass rushers in the NFL. So would he be great on the 49er defensive line? Sure. We'd all love him to be there. I mean, sign me right up for Watt alongside Armstead, alongside Kinlaw year 2, Bosa back healthy. It would be great, but it just feels very early to be jumping on this train because this is offseason 2021 stuff. Like, we do tons of offseason coverage here on the 49ers Report. Right now, it's the actual season, so let's just focus back in. Trey Lance, J.J. Watt. Let's focus back in on the latest news. That way the Niners can hopefully get healthy and start going on a little run here and making a playoff push. But, I mean, I'll ask, would you trade for J.J. Watt? Like, would you give up a first, second, or a third-round draft pick for him? If you would, type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. Here you go, though. Ultimately, I have for today here on the 49ers Report, a fun 49ers Report, a futuristic one as we look ahead to the offseason because people want to know the answers to these questions, so I have the answers, hopefully, here in this video. Ultimately, I have for today on the 49ers Report, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.